365 days a year. Of course, we give out free picks on just about every game on the card on this show. We kind of do an around-the-horn thing. We have a regular crew, and we're going to talk about some other people that are going to be popping in. We got some changes going on at our website with our premium handicappers. We got some new cappers either here or on the way. And, man, just a lot of exciting times. Things are changing, and we kind of took, like, a bunch of steps backwards, kind of had to break it down and, not as prominent out there as we've been in the past. And, now we're going to build it back up, and, we're going to blow everybody out of the water, and they'll be copying everything we do just like they already are and they're in the process of doing, right? It's like, yeah, Mitch goes live, and so we all go live. Mitch has a blue light, and we all have a blue light, and, whatever. Mitch has Ruffalo. We all got to find a Ruffalo. So, here, speaking of Ruffalo, we'll bring these guys in. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, starting this weekend, Tony Brown will be on our site. He'll be entering his picks in as a new handicapper. We also have a new index I'll be adding out there, a contrarian index to our things. We already have our dogs. We have our simulator. We'll be adding an index, and as well as, we have our consensus report as well. We also have spread knowledge, which, speaking of which, the spread knowledge computer pick show, with the time change and everything, it's just been a mess for me. We haven't been able to do it at all. We'll be moving the spread knowledge pick show to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be Charles Ormsby and myself, kind of like a lead-in for the drive-through, which will stay at 6 p.m., though I've considered moving that to 5 p.m., but it's like I think instead we'll start with the computer pick show at 5 p.m., and then, we got all kinds of changes going on, all kinds of new things. Over the next month or two, you guys will notice a lot of big changes, probably starting around Thanksgiving and after, but all for the better. We don't it's not like that restaurant where you go and they replace the the chicken parm with like le chicken parm, and it's like you can't get the old one that you loved for the last 15 years. It's like some new one with some kind of kale bullshit going on, right? Anyways, speaking of kale, and they screwed us on that halftime last night. Vegas, oh man, it's like I feel like a typical Facebook group. The facts, man, they got us. It was like, I don't know, man.
I went to sleep. I'm like, oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
easy
like,
win. Like the last 6 minutes, I woke up. Like, what happened?
I don't know. I still don't know what the hell happened there. It was like, I don't even understand why the sequence of events just didn't even make any sense. But that's betting.
They had to get their money back.
I mean, you got robbed, but I was thinking that just seems too easy of a lie. -1.5 at halftime. I don't know. That's just my two cents.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
It was so suspicious, but that's why I felt comfortable.
But
you got robbed,
but what I was thinking, Brian, my thought process at the time was like, are they going to leave this big of a middle for all that money that's on the Packers? Exactly. It's like, are they going to leave that big of a middle for all that money that's on the Packers? I mean, you saw how much money was on the Packers, right? You didn't even put out a pick out on the Packers, right? Too square for you, right?
2 square for me.
Exactly, right? It's 2 square for you because but the thing is that it was sharp and it was square. It was the world, right? It was world money on the Packers last night. And, when it has that, so Mike Ferraro is no longer welcome on our chats. So we're going to throw him out. We're going to find out where he's adding comments. If he's a friend of yours or something like that, I'm sorry, but he's got to go. We don't talk politics. We don't talk on our show. This is not a politics show. It's not a betting show. It's a sports betting show. There's a difference. We don't sit here and talk about backgammon wagering or, poker. Let's talk about sports betting. Talk about how we got screwed on that halftime.
Yeah, it's nice to get away for a little bit and talk about sports for a half an hour or so and just leave the outside world on the outside.
Mitch said take Wyoming -3.5, and they didn't even cover. Thanks so much, Mitch. I lost money.
You didn't say that, did you?
I my first video that I did with Ruffalo, I took Colorado State. The second video I said take Wyoming. But my premium pick, the ones that I clearly say in my videos, the ones that I'm betting today, the ones I like the best, the ones I'm most confident in, the ones I'm betting, right? The games that I suggest that you bet because I'm betting them. Those are the ones you find in the premium area. And what did I give out in the premium area on the Wyoming game?
Colorado State. And I think
No, I did not give out Colorado State. I gave out the over. It was a layup.
Oh, okay.
It was a freaking layup, man. It was, 34-14 at halftime or something? I mean, it was 52 was the number. It was a straight layup.
The game went a lot like we were talking about.
Straight layup, man.
The Mountain West has been one week.
This guy, Mike Ferraro, should read this sign, right? Because you didn't pay the $9 a pick, you lost. Okay, that's basically what happened. So you blame it on me because you were too cheap. You're a cheap skate. How about that? Ouch. Yeah, truth hurts sometimes. I hate trolls, man. Hate them. Speaking of trolls, Ruffalo, what's up?
I like that sign in the background. I gotta say, I just noticed it.
Nice. I noticed it last night too for the first time. Did you just get it?
Well, I didn't get to tune into the halftime last night, but I didn't even notice it yesterday if it was there.
I didn't know. I noticed it last night on halftime.
I'm too busy,
It's my wife told me that. Someone said it. There was some celebrity that said it. My wife told me it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a sign made, and I'm gonna put it right there. Because it's the truth, man.
Yeah.
It is the truth. And it's like you could ask like the guy who cuts your grass if you pay the more expensive grass cutting guy than the less expensive one. He'll tell you the same thing, right? The mechanic's going to tell you the same thing, right? It's the same thing everywhere, It's always that way. Always that way, man. I mean, I have people that have been annual members, for 10 years. I get one email from them a year at the most. I have people that buy a consensus report for 3 days, and I hear complaining for, every single game before it's even over. It's, I mean, how many times do you get to complain about the game before it's over and then you end up winning? A lot. A lot, man. A lot.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Anyways, Ann, what do you got today for sale? Speaking of ridiculous.
I have a good total tonight for the evening game at 9:45. One of my favorite totals tonight. That's one thing I have up there right now. Probably going to just stick with that one.
How about you, Chris? What's going on? How'd you do yesterday? You got off this soccer thing finally? I got to say, I'm not a. What do you got today for sale? I would never tell the cappers.
I have a good total tonight for the evening game at 9:45.
I'm trying to ban this guy. So, I never tell the. I never tell people what sports they can do and what they can't do and anything like that. But I always say, man, it's like if we have soccer guys that are soccer guys. We have, we have other people that just kind of cover soccer. But it's like the premium picks are supposed to be your best bets. The ones that you like the best. So it's like there's no way I could possibly. I like some of these hockey picks that we talk about on the show, but I don't put them out there, man. Chris, you done with soccer or what?
Because
the only kick that seems to be going on there, and is in your nuts. I mean,
that was pretty good. I thought you were gonna say the only kick that was going around was my ass.
Well, that too.
There's a lot more of that to kick. I got my free for all Friday. My 3 favorite plays for college football today. I'm loving those plays today. I got them over for $29.95 over at the website. I can't get any better than that. To back-to-back winning days, hoping to make it 3 in a row. Also got one of those 3-day packs. You're gonna get all the college football and NFL leading up to Monday night. So have all those over at the website.
Brian, what do you got?
I know, guys, I sound like a broken record, but another winning day for me last day. 10 of the last 12 have been winning. Number 1 in college football, now up to 62% winners on the year. Get all 3 of my college football plays for $40 at pickdogs.com.
How many you got tonight?
I got three pack for $40.
What are you doing tomorrow? What do you got? Any plans for tomorrow?
I got them all circled up. I got 6, a 3-pack early, and it'll be a 3-pack late.
I heard you were taking a pass tomorrow. Then just gonna take
I would never ever in the million years take a pass on Saturday.
It's like, man, it's like I'm gonna take Brian's. It's like I'll get like 600 emails. It's like
I could be in the hospital.
I can't get Brian's picks. Because like our premium thing, it doesn't say because it's kind of it's new. It's new. So. We're still always working on it, but there needs to be something saying the picks have not been put in yet for today for the Handicapper. It should say something like that, right? But it doesn't, and it just makes it seem like I can't get Brian's picks. Well, he decided to take a pass today. What the? it's like, well, basically you paid. I mean, there are handicappers out there. I mean, this is not made. Brian will tell you. There's guys. I mean, he's been around the block. He knows there's guys out there, and it's kind of like they'll say, well, I'm just going to take a pass today. It's like the people that bought their monthly or their weekly or something. It's like, well, he's saying that you should just take a pass today. So that's what, it's like, I just paid for someone to tell me to take a pass today. It's like,
I can't remember last time we took a pass when there was, like last night, for instance, we had a couple games on the card. I only went with one. I mean, I'm not going to force out a ton of plays, but I'll never just pass on a day.
Yeah, like if like I know that like I was reaching a little bit. I was cold about. I've been cold on NFL Sunday. I had 2 cold NFL Sundays. I was on like the leaderboard for NFL. Then I had 2 cold NFL Sundays, and I saw that I was pressing, that I was pushing too much. So like I passed on the Sunday night game. I still had 5 plays during the day, or 7. Right, I had 7 plays during the day or something, but I passed on the night game. And it's like. And that's rare for me to do that, but it's like you gotta just, it's okay to rate it
the
in.
Monday night game look. J.E. Tate, yes, Jets.
That's Monday night.
That's Monday night, huh?
Yeah, it's Monday night football. Could have, last night looked like a super square play, but man, it was a super beatdown.
Yeah.
And we got the birthday boy. Rod Zwacky, Steak Friday. Happy birthday, Rod.
Yay.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
For your birthday, you get the not a bad slate of games here. For I gotta say, compared to last night where you had, Colorado State, Wyoming, who the hell's reaching? I mean, put it this way. Like I said, in the sports chat video, I gave out Colorado State, and the Pick Dogs video, I gave out Wyoming. That's how much I could figure that game out. But I did give out the over in the premium. But I mean, now you got BYU Boise, a main event, even if it was on Saturday, right? It's a main event game. You've got Miami NC State, which is okay. It's an okay game. And then San Diego State, San Jose State, which are 2 undefeated teams, which makes it an interesting game, including Starkel, the Mountain West Conference Player of the Week last week. So it's just a big day for you, and it's Steak Friday and Aloha Friday.
Yep, it's Steak Friday. Try to continue. Sound like Brian. Up 4 straight winning days. Trying to make it 5 straight winning days. On my birthday and Steak Friday. Love the 3 plays I got going in there on today's college card.
Now's the time to get Rod's 7-day package. I mean, he's heating up. I'll do it.
Next Friday, we got 4 games on the cards, at least scheduled. Florida International is one of those. They've had trouble getting to the field recently. Minnesota, Iowa, and of course Cincinnati, East Carolina. We know Brian's on in that one. And UCLA, Utah, next Friday.
I didn't write down East Carolina. So.
For next week? Next week it is.
Oh, next week. I'm talking about this week.
You know me, I like to get a little ahead of myself.
I got a big list, but that's not wrong.
Got a really good. Actually, next Saturday is a better card than this Saturday. It is. What do you think the line's going to be on that Ohio State Maryland game? At Maryland. Also, Wisconsin, Michigan, if they can get the Badgers onto the field.
Where's that game at?
And Alabama, LSU.
Where's Wisconsin, Michigan at?
Michigan.
Oh, I like Michigan.
The line's 49.5. It's like I go on the halftime show. People say, "Who do you like? Who do you like?" It's like the line's not up yet. It's like the Sunday halftime show, where all the games are on. It's like there's 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half, because it's like they're all going to half at kind of around the same time, and that's why that show lasts like a half hour or so. But it's like they're kind of going to the half at the same time, and it's like they're kind of not going to half at the same time, and people ask me 2 minutes left to go in the game. Thank you, Tiffany, for the super chat. Email me your name and address and shirt size. I'll send you a Pick Dog shirt, just like Bittler's modeling for you today.
Or if you get a 7-day pass at one of these handicappers, you get a free Pick Dog shirt.
Absolutely. Why not? Anyways, we've got Miami and NC State and my Canes. My Miami Hurricanes, the team that I grew up, the reason why I love college football. Here they are against NC State, a team they traditionally absolutely wax. This is, since Miami entered the ACC, they've never really had the success that they had before they were in the ACC, because the ACC plays a little different style of football than the old Big East used to play, which was more of a physical game, and Miami would be able to pound these other teams up the gut and then run circles around them, throw in some probation and some other things. But basically, the style of the ACC is what you see from NC State and from Clemson. And what they do is they chop block the middle linebacker and send a scat back up the middle. And it's just, it's like, I don't know why Miami hasn't been able to figure this out. It's been almost 20 years at this point. But this is basically the play that they run. They always chop block the middle linebacker, and then they have these scat backs, right? Send through the hole. It's like, for some reason, it just always gives Miami fits. They've kind of figured it out. What you need is the outside linebacker that can just lay out the decleating hits and knock that guy out of the game. That's what it really comes to. There was a cheap shot in last night's game, right, where they tried to knock the guy out, like clearly at the end of the game, right? Real cheap shot in last night's game.
Which game?
The NFL game.
Oh, I was really busy watching the college Nevada game. I like that better.
That game was long over by the time this happened. Long over.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
When Buddy lowered the head on the quarterback?
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Yep.
He put his head right down, right into the middle, and whack. It was like, holy man, why are you trying to knock that guy out? You won this game handily. There was no need for that.
Crazy.
Some confusing comments. Anyways, Ed, NC State and Miami. The Wolfpack, we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly from this team so far. Miami, De'Aaron King, we saw him look lights out against Louisville and Florida State, but outside of that, he's been pretty ordinary.
Yeah, I'm more leaning towards Miami on this. NC State is 2-13 after 3 or more turnovers, and they're also 4-14 after allowing 37 or more points. So I'm feeling more confident with Miami on the spread. I just went down to 10, so I'll take it at the 10.
Someone gave me this ball marker for golf, and it's Miami ball marker. Someone gave me this. The odd thing about this, and the reason why I don't use it, there you go. The reason why I don't use it, the reason why I don't use this when I play golf, and the reason why it's sitting here in my frog's hands as opposed to out on the golf course with me in my pocket is, it's green, so it makes it really hard to find. It's like, where the hell's my ball marker? And it's like,
why would you make that white?
I think there was a white one and a green one. I lost the white one, but it's like, so I found this one. Someone bought me these years ago when I used to play golf, like 25 years ago. Yeah, it's like, it's kind of like, like Sports Chat Place, where it's like, we had to break it down and build it back up. It's like, not it's like I started playing golf about a year and a half ago again after taking 25 years off, and my swing is just getting back to where it was. It's just getting back because the game has changed so much. You know, the ball goes so much further, you know, than it used to go. But you know, but mine, it doesn't go as far. You know, when I hit it, it's just different clubs are going different distances. Like I was always a 150-yard 7-iron guy, always, and it's like to find that combination to get to that 150-yard 7-iron is, you know, it takes a while. It's not as easy as it looks. It's not as easy as I make it look out there. Anyways, I'm playing in a pretty tough game today, man. I got 3 guys I'm playing with today that are pretty good golfers. Took me for $11 on Monday. Speaking of $11, Ruffalo.
Is that how much I still owe you?
I think I owe you money.
I'm leaning towards NC State here. You know, Miami's done well, you know, against. They've done well against the other teams, like, you know, your Louisvilles of the world and stuff like that. But NC State's back at home after 4 road games in 5 weeks, and they're finally going to get time off. So I think Miami does enough to go into NC State, get the win. But I think it's by maybe 7 or 8, not by 10. So
what does the injury list look like here for NC State?
Let's see.
Well, they're off a bye week, so they should be a little bit more rested.
I'm seeing a bunch of questionables.
Yeah. Okay. Brevin Jordan should be back for this one. He's Miami's best player. Brian?
I'm going to be giving out the side on the drive-through tonight, so guys tune in for that. It's one of my 3 premium picks. But as far as the total goes, I think Miami's defense is going to be just flying around today. I think you're going to see super low score at halftime. Shouldn't have any trouble cruising under the total here.
Rod?
For me in this one, we got to take NC State. Like Chris says, I think Miami wins, but not by the 10.5 here. Here's a little stat for you. Miami has covered just 1 game off of 8 days rest since 2018. They're actually 1-10 ATS. Their last 11 games off of 8 days rest. And you look at the other side of the ball, and you go NC State off of their bye week. They're 19-7 ATS. Their last 26 off a bye week. So I think NC State comes and hangs, keeps it close.
I'll say I put a lot less into trends in college football because you have 2 totally different coaching staffs and 2 totally different sets of players than any of those trends could represent. These teams, you know, traditionally high-scoring games, very little defense on NC State's side. That, you know, the guys always look really fast when they're playing against other teams. You know, it's like that's it. I think that's been my general experience with NC State versus Miami is that their guys always look really fast when they're playing other teams. You know, and then the Miami wide receivers seem to always get open for very, very long passing plays. These are the ones where you see the Miami receivers catching those 70-yard bombs. These are the games. It's the NC State game. And it's always at it's the NC State.
The problem with those trends is you can find trends for the other side, like the Wolfpack are 3-10 against the spread as an underdog, and they're 2-8 versus teams with winning records. They're 1-5 following an ATS loss. They're 0-6 in November. Last 6 against the spread.
Yeah, I mean,
so
the over is
3-0.
The over is 3-0-1 in Miami's last 4 games as a road favorite. The under is 5-0 in their last 5 Friday games. You know, it's you know, who the hell knows? I mean, they're dogs. They don't know what day it is. Except for my dog seems to know because he gets a bone every Saturday and he kind of waits around for it. He kind of gives you the look. Starts early. It ends till he gets the bone. It's like we found these frozen bones. I'm on Miami here, and it's like I know this is like it sounds like a homer pick because it is. And, I just know that Miami has a ton of team speed, way more than NC State. Way, way, way more. They also have way, way, way more talent up and down the roster at every single position. Every single position. Miami has, like you match up the NC State players against the Miami players. Miami has an edge at every single position on the field. They're going to slaughter them. It's going to be
Miami also needs to make.
It's going to be one of those games. I can tell you for certain, it's going to be one of those games where you see Miami score 4 or 5 plays that are 50, 60 yards or more. Like the Louisville game. It will be like that. It was on the road, the Louisville game. This game will be very, very similar to that. Very, very similar. When people thought, oh, no, they're looking ahead to Louisville. Louisville sucks, man. They can't tackle worth a shit. It's like I sat here on this show saying the exact same thing. And we saw NC State get beat up by North Carolina, right? They ain't seen nothing yet. You think North Carolina can run with these guys? Have you looked at the NFL rosters recently? I mean, the fourth string running back at Miami is on the Seahawks. I mean, that's really the way that this works. Travis Homer, who was, someone's backup, right? He was like Lamar. He was like someone. Who was he? The guy got injured for the season, got knocked out for the season. It was another guy that's on an NFL roster. But
Seahawks make any running back look good, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, Travis Homer was awesome at Miami, so on a bad team, but he, he was the backup for somebody else that got injured like early in the season. Oh, you know who it was? Mark Walton, the guy who was drafted by the Bengals. He got arrested like 17 times, and he got thrown out, of the Bengals. Then he went to the Dolphins, gave him a break. They said, yeah, kind of the Antonio Brown thing. It's like, yeah, we'll give him a shot. It was like he lasted like 4 days. He was arrested again. So, but he backed up Mark Walton, and he played for him, and now he's on the Seahawks. He's been on there for a few years. DJ Dallas, who was the backup last year, is on the Seahawks. I mean, every team has a Miami speed guy. Everybody does. And it's like, they're just not drafted as high as they were, but there's certainly guys that are making impacts in the NFL, and you just don't see that on the other side here. You see the occasional Bradley Chubb, right? Occasional. For NC State. Just two different programs here. Two different things. Even on the offensive line, look at the offensive linemen. How many NC State offensive linemen are there in the NFL? A small handful. How many offensive linemen are there in Miami? The fourth most of any college football team. And it's like, it's people lose sight of this, and it's like Ruffalo. He's just somehow got blinders on or something. I'm not really sure what the hell happened to him. We're on the wrong end of the Cheerios today for him, I guess. I don't know what the hell he's thinking.
Well, are there going to be fans at NC State? That's kind of was like holding me back. But
oh, yeah, that'll really scare Miami up. It's like...
That's true.
Oh, not the NC State
Maybe they'll
fans.
run faster with NC State. They might run a little bit.
I'm telling you, I've been to road Miami games where it looks like select-a-seat day in the third quarter. and in the big stadiums, at like the Swamp in Gainesville, where Florida's ranked like number 3 in the country, and all of a sudden, it's 48-3, and it's like there's not a Gator fan in sight. We got the whole place to ourselves. I'm not saying this. Well, I mean, it's probably going to look like select-a-seat day anyway, but I really love my Canes in this one. I think that they're ready for a big offensive performance. De'Aaron King has, he's not been all that sharp. He has not been. He's been missing receivers high a lot. And I think that they've had this time to work on it. And I think he's going to connect, and I think it's going to set up openings for the ground game. And Miami has 3 or 4 running backs that are all faster than any player on the NC State roster. I think NC State's in for a can of whoop ass here in a big way. Outside of that, I think it'll probably be a pretty good game. Anyways, just my 2 cents. Let's do San Diego State, San Jose State next.
Do it.
And What do you think?
So I know we were talking a little bit about this before the show. I just sat there. I was very quiet. I'm more leaning towards San Diego on this. I really like their defense this year, and they're home, so that kind of did it for me. So I'm going to take San Diego on this one at -9.5.
Chris?
I'm on San Jose State here. I just like the way the Spartans look with an actual quarterback leading that offense, and Nick Starkel, and he's got a lot of game experience from his time in the SEC. So I'm on the Spartans here.
Starkel, the Mountain West Player of the Week last week, but first road game for San Jose State. Brian?
For me, it's a square side of the total, but I think we see a lot of back and forth scoring. Not a ton, because the total is only around 49.5, but I think it does enough to get it over there. I think it's a competitive game, so give me the over.
Chris, you think San Diego State still has that Harbaugh leftover stench going around? Because they never seem to be able to get over the hump, So we got to blame it on something, You think it's just that leftover Jim Harbaugh, the stench, that was kind of lingering, that lingering.
I thought something smelled funny when I was watching that game.
I mean, I'm just thinking, it could be. It just could be. Rod,
Good point.
the birthday boy.
Harbaugh's picking his nose and putting it underneath the table, so it's still hanging around. Yeah. We know he's the nose.
It's just got a visual.
Yeah.
I still like San Jose State here. I haven't changed from the selection I gave away on the drive-through today or earlier this week. Nick Starkel playing good, shooting lights out. 56 out of 76 passing. 7 touchdowns, 1 INT. I think San Jose and their bend and don't break type defense does enough here to cover the number for us. I don't know if they win outright, but I think they cover the number.
All right. BYU and Boise on the blue turf. No need to adjust your sets. The field is blue. Last year, it was BYU with the backup quarterback at home against Boise. Boise's only loss during the regular season knocked them out of the BCS bowl game. Today, it's Boise with their backup quarterback at home against the BYU team that hasn't lost all season. And, they got West Alabama State up next. So they're done. They're out of games. So what do you think, Ann?
So I was looking at this line. It's +3 for Boise State, which I thought that was kind of weird. This is
because Bachmeier's out. Because Bachmeier's out, so the line's going to be
right. Brian Harston, I think that's how you say his name. He's 12-3 as underdogs. But I'm going to lean towards Boise State. I just can't really back BYU. They've done me wrong in the past, so once a team does me wrong, I never usually.
Shame on them.
So, yeah,
those bastards. Such a mean team. Chris.
Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna take Boise in the points. This is just something. Boise just plays differently on that blue turf, and I think this is. When we saw BYU struggle against UTSA, I still haven't got that out of my head, and I think this is going to be tough sledding for the Cougars tonight. I'm on Boise State in the points.
What's the over under tonight for how many times I tell my wife no need to adjust the set? The field is blue. She'll be she does her word jumbles. She'll look up disgusted. It's she does this online word jumble. It's don't bother me. I'm in a tournament. Word jumble tournament. Yes. My wife's the most. My wife's the most non-competitive person in the world. It's
oh.
It's yeah, I finished with a time of I finished I finished that marathon in 2:58. broke. It's like, oh, I wonder how this guy did. It's not a race. Well, actually, it is a race.
I'm like, I'm the most competitive person there is, so I'm talking about
42-26. Brian, who do you like?
I will be one for college
For me-
basketball.
For me in this game, the public's in love with BYU. They're in love with the over. I tell you what, there's no way both the over and BYU's cashing tonight. So for me, I'm going to go with the under. I think that the Sharps are left this total a long time ago, and I would take the under where it's at right now. I think you're going to see a hard-fought game. That both teams have to have this game, so give me the under.
The line flipped to BYU because the quarterback is out for Boise. That is pretty much what's going on here.
And it also doesn't help how much action there's going in on BYU. That doesn't help the line. So.
How about you, Rod? What do you got?
Back BYU.
I agree with Brian. You got to take the under here. This number's 8 points off of what I think it is. It should be it opened at 59. It's now up to 63, and I think it should be around 55, 56. And now it's at 63. Give me the under 63 and a half. I don't know. I think we sneak under this number here.
A lot of running the football, I think, too.
Well, Ann doesn't do our Saturday show with us. She's too busy for us. So,
sorry.
Got anything you want to talk about for Saturday real quick before we do the...
I had a feeling you would ask me that. Let me pull up some of my notes here, what I wrote down. There was a game I love. I'll probably just give it out now as a free premium. It's a total. West Virginia and Texas take the over on that game. I love it. I think it's at 54 and a half. 12 o'clock game. Love that one. I want to give that out as a free premium pick right there.
Anything else? Any just free picks you want to get?
Yeah, I'll give out like another one. Not free, but if I had to go, I was looking at Nebraska for Northwestern. I do like Nebraska to cover. And let me give you a later game.
How about Syracuse?
Oh, why give me that one? I don't ever take anything.
That's the punch. That's the punchline of the ACC.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
You know what? I'm gonna go with my awesome win from last week. It was my game end total of the year, and that was the Florida Atlantic over WKU. So I'm gonna go Florida Atlantic again. I just love that team. They've been money for me.
Line has dropped in that one from 10.5 down to 6.5.
6.5.
So likely something's going on there.
It's still gonna be a pounding. I love that one as well, and they were beautiful to me last week. So,
Chris, any news on that game, Florida Atlantic? Do you know?
Pardon?
I'm asking Chris if he knows anything going on in that one. Generally keeps up on this stuff.
Florida Atlantic?
Yeah, anything going on there that you know of? That the line would drop 4 full points? A positive COVID test? Running backs out for the season. Both of them. Questionable. Wide receiver out for the season. That was a while ago. Frank Gore's son, isn't he on? Oh, he's on Southern Miss. Anything else, Ann? You got to say to our audience?
So I guess I'll give you, if you brought up the Syracuse, I'm looking at that line now. I'm definitely going to leave the under on that game at 52.5.
How about Notre Dame, Clemson, and Georgia, Florida? You got any comments on the two big boys for this weekend?
What time did they play at?
Notre Dame, Clemson is 7:30 p.m.
Oh, 7:30. And I would go with, on that one, they're at 7:30?
Yeah, still at 7:30.
Oh, okay. So in Notre Dame's home, right? I 5.5. I like the over for that a lot. at 50.5. I'm leaning more towards Clemson, but they kind of were a disappointment last week. Well, really 2 weeks in a row for covering the spread. But I'm leaning more towards I'm definitely liking the over for that one.
How about Florida, Georgia? Anyone? Ann?
Florida, Georgia. What time's that at? I write all my games out in the top.
3:30.
3:30. Florida, Georgia. I'm loving Georgia on that. -3.5. I just am leaning more towards Georgia. Florida's been good to me, but I'm definitely leaning towards Georgia. And if I had to pick a total on that, I would definitely take the over on that game. I think that's really. I think 53 is a little on the low side.
I think Brian's sleeping.
A couple points past that.
There we go.
Wake up, Brian.
No, I was looking at some comments on that.
We got to get you the screen up here, man.
If I had to talk about the Penn State and Maryland game, that's definitely a really good under to have. I love that under right there. I mean, Penn State should cover.
Wow,
in my opinion,
this is a Jeter type filibuster going on here. I've seen this only once before.
And then there was the Ohio Rutgers game I had looked at, and it's like, Ohio, you better cover. But again, that's like another one of those games where I just love that.
What about Coastal Carolina, South Alabama?
Oh, Coastal Carolina, South Alabama. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna look at my notes. I think I probably took Coastal Carolina. I don't even know what the spread is, but I'm just
massive amounts of money on Coastal. Massive.
What time's the game at?
That's an 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Yeah. Oh, my notes are telling me something else. Definitely leaning towards the under on that game. I don't know now about that spread. Coastal Carolina -18.
95% of the money is on Coastal Carolina in that game.
For what? Public?
Supposedly 95% of the sharp money, or the betting activity.
Let's go against them, and I'll take the Jags.
Yeah, it's like it almost seems it's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Jags then. I'll go against.
Is that what you show, Brian?
I like the.
Well, what I'm seeing is it's only a small sample of 400 something, but I'm seeing that the bets are almost 50-50, but the big money guys are on Coastal Carolina. So for me, I would bang Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, but the big money came in. The big dollar
below the 17.5.
Yeah, the big dollars came in. I'm showing it came in way earlier than this. Mm-hmm. There was a big bet on the 3rd, like a really big bet that moved this on November 3rd at around, I don't know, 9:32 a.m. ish, approximately.
I steer clear of this game.
Bang this line, like I mean,
I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, it's like. This is a big one, right? I mean, that is
Coastal Carolina needs to win big, convincingly.
A very easy spread. I think that will be covered. Would be the Ducks, Oregon Ducks over Stanford. They're home. That's -8. That's an easy cover right there, in my opinion.
That line movement.
20-point win. That moved, Chris.
That line movement scares me a little bit from 13 down to 8.
How about Arizona State, USC?
It's going to be 20-point win.
I like
Arizona State, you said?
Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow, Chris, with Ron Romanelli.
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
We're going to put him right next to you because he's excited to work with you, Chris, more than me. Ron Romanelli will be with us tomorrow, filling in for Ann.
I thought he'd be excited to work with me. I'm hurt.
He actually didn't even mention you once.
The #1 college football handicapper. He doesn't want to work with me.
Not this week, you're not.
Yeah, I'm only 2-0 this week. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am. Let's see. Starting on last Saturday, I am. Let's see.
That's not.
I was. Let's see. So I was.
Can't start Wednesday, not Saturday.
No. Starting last Saturday. And that was I don't know. I'm up there. 10-4. 13-4 since last Saturday.
Wow.
Yep. Taking names. I started the college football season horrifically. I started like so far in the hole that I had nowhere to go but up. It's like once you get into, because I'm sitting there betting Navy, Middle Tennessee State, a game that I would normally never touch. So it's like.
I'm also that one too. Middle Tennessee I had.
Of course we did. We got suckered. Army, Middle Tennessee it was. Even worse.
Yeah, Army.
Even worse. It was Navy, BYU.
Yeah.
It was even worse. But it's like, there was all those games. Generally, and this is typical for me for college football and basketball, very, very typical for me, is that when conference play starts is when my season really starts. And that's when I start kicking ass. And that's why the bowls, March Madness, stuff like that. It's like, because we generally do well in March Madness, like, the guys, the sports chat, like traditional writers, and, the Pick Dog guys, we haven't really done a March Madness yet, but the sports chat guys, we tend to do better at March Madness than most of the other people out there, is because we know Mercer, we know them, we know them inside and out. It's like we've been covering every game that they did all season long. While the other guys, they just jump in, I get those emails, right, every year. I want to write for your site. It's like, what do you cover? College basketball. It's March 19th, It's like, this is not the time to start covering college basketball with us. It's like, there's no way that you knew, Middle Tennessee State was going to knock off Michigan State. Like, we all had it, We all had a money line. It was easy. Giddy Potts was there for 17 and a half years. Anchoring that squad. So ready for college hoops.
Yep.
Chris,
did they announce the NBA was back on
December 22nd? So we'll have Christmas Day NBA, and with an abbreviated 72 game schedule. So that's 10 games light of where it normally is, but that still should take us almost into August, right, with the playoffs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to compete against baseball if baseball plays or whatever they decide to do.
I know hockey's a follower, so I'm going to say they're going to announce something right behind them, because whatever NBA does, it seems that the hockey guys are like, oh, we can't be like that. We got to go too. So,
anyways, anything else anyone wants to say out there? Because we got to wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do. I believe it's 5:00 Eastern time. I'm gonna be back with Charles Ormsby. We're gonna do a computer pick show. We're gonna kind of be a warm-up act, as Brian called it something else, but we're gonna be a warm-up act for the drive-through at 6 p.m. So it'll be
Mitch is gonna be my fluffer today.
There you go.
It's okay, Brian. We got plenty other people out there that would like your spot on this show. Plenty. We could go to a rotating capper in there.
I don't want to be the other guy's fluffer on the other show. So
yeah, you could. We could put you on the. We could put you on the drive-through on Ruffalo's lap for a week or two. Our special guest will be Brian Bittler, and he'll be sitting on my lap this week. That would be fun. Yeah, I can't wait till everything, till things kind of get back to normal, get back to Vegas, and maybe do some live shows all together. I think that would be a really good time. Well, I don't know. It's like I know people are traveling again. I see a lot of tourists here. I see a lot of rental cars on the road, so that's how I know. And
I have a prediction. Baseball stadiums will be back to normal in April. So that's my prediction.
I think there will be fans in the stands. I don't know if they'll be back to normal. I'm not ready to go back, to be honest. And I'm not like a mask wearing, one of these people. But it's
I look forward to being able to go to a baseball game. Take my kid to Double-A baseball.
But I'm not, at the same time, I'm not, and it's like I've been that way because I've lived in isolation. I've lived on an island where it's like there's nobody here. But it's like the fact that all these people are coming in, I'm probably where you guys were, 6 months ago now, where it's like, oh, shit, man, I better buy some of that hand gel or whatever they call it.
Hand sanitizer.
Oh, okay. You're talking about sanitizer.
Oh,
You should
man.
see the breweries that just shut down. We're like, oh, we're not going to make booze. We're going to make hand sanitizer. Come on, everybody, hand sanitizer. It's like,
Bitler,
Now we have two
you got a
consumers.
girlfriend, Bitler?
No, not at the moment.
All right, well, we're gonna do like the next day that there's no sports. What is it gonna be? Tuesday, Chris? We're gonna fill out Bitler's Tinder profile for him.
Well, there's actually a few fans from the show that are ladies. So
No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna fill out a Match.com for you and a Tinder profile right here live on the show. We're gonna get Bitler back on track.
I already have a Tinder profile.
Well, it's not working, obviously.
I can picture it. I can picture it now. About me, 37 and 15 of us.
Right,
and then likes, long walks on the beach, the Angels and the Jets. Dislikes, coupon codes. Dislikes, anything square.
Hashtag I am sharp.
That's the username.
Is there a username? I don't even know. You know, I've never.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Be on the winning side.
We'll do it. We'll do it
winner.
though. We'll get him a player B Tinder profile then. See if it outperforms.
Dressing sharp. Anything with the word sharp.
I'd imagine like life in the Tinder biz, you know, is probably hurting in the COVID environment. You know, probably took.
It's actually pretty, from what I've gathered, it's like on fire.
Is
I
it?
know people that are getting engaged and they met during quarantine. So,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, whatever works, right?
Almost like Love is Blind.
Yes, good job.
I love that one. I like that they did the reunion a year later because then you really had time to
Yeah.
build up the spite. It's like like Married at First Sight where they do the reunion kind of right away. So it's like you don't have time for that buildup of hatred and disgust. It's like people like with me, it's like, oh man, haven't you let it go? Like with some people that I've had some disputes with in the past. Some that I'm legally not allowed to mention on this show, and then some other ones that you guys have heard me mention. And it's like, it's like, oh man, I'm glad you're like, I was like, are you kidding? It's worse than it ever was. And it's like, I feel exactly the same. On that note, I'll see you guys later on today. Ruffalo and Bitler. Rod, you on the drive-thru for your birthday?
Yep.
Chris is going to bring you a cupcake.
Nice.
Aw.
Slather.
I might actually.
Brian's gonna jump out of it. Anyways,
No cupcakes.
anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Have a great day. I will see you guys, I believe, at 5:00 Eastern time for the computer pick show with Ormsby. It might be a couple minutes after, if it is, so be it. But we're gonna do it before the drive-thru. We're gonna be the warm-up act. We're not going to hear what Bitler has to say. Have a great day, everyone. We'll try and act more professional tomorrow.